Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be talking to you guys today. I know it's been a minute that I've been on here. A lot has been happening in life, so I'm trying to give myself patience and I'm trying to not be too hard on myself when I'm not recording videos or when I'm not doing podcasts. I think, as I said in my last video or even my podcast recording, that I'm wanting to do more video podcasting. So kind of slowly but surely moving my way to doing my own talk show. So that's going to be something very new for me. And I'm really excited, to be quite honest. I'm excited to talk about people's journeys. I'm excited to open up to my own gifts and abilities in the process of allowing other people to share their own. So it's going to be a really fun process. And I'm just excited for what the future has to hold for me. So yeah, so we're gonna get right into it. I kind of want to start something that I was doing before. It was about opening up the show with your highs and your lows, or your pit or your peak. So, for example, for people who don't know what that means is, so your high is something good that's been happening, whether that's within this week or the whole entire year, and then a low is something that not so pleasant has happened or something that you've been feeling kind of off about. And so I guess my high is that I'm tapping into my creativity a lot more. I am opening up to my abilities. I'm not as insecure as I was when it came to me doing paintings and drawings. So I'm a lot more patient with myself when it comes to the whole process and understanding that things does not happen overnight. It takes consistency, it takes patience, and it also takes a lot of effort and dedication in order to improve when it comes to your technique or anything that you're doing in life in general. I'm just glad that I'm actually, and I don't say this a lot, I don't say that there are milestones in my spiritual journey. And the reason why I don't is because growth is not linear. So a lot of the times, the certain milestones you think that you'll see, it's more of a feeling than an actual knowing, than something that's manifesting to your reality. So for example, the other night, or a few weeks ago, maybe not the other night, I was doing a painting and a drawing, and I had convinced myself when I first started drawing that I could not do hands, that I really wasn't good at it, and it may be something that I'll never be able to do. And I'm super grateful for my mentor, because he's like literally been like drilling in my head that I have every reason to be confident in myself. And he's right. And so when I stepped back and looked at my painting, I saw how amazing the fucking hands looked. And then it made me go back and look at all my other drawings and the stuff that I practiced in the past. And then I realized, like, damn, I was actually pretty good at doing this, but I convinced myself that I wasn't. And that's why perspective matters. And that's why being patient with yourself and giving yourself grace is so important, is because a lot of times other people can see your potential, but if you convince yourself that you don't have potential or you lack something, you will never be able to see it. You'll never be able to actually appreciate it. So that's why it was very important for me to be able to really see that, but also that feeling. I felt so proud of myself in that moment. And it was actually kind of emotional, because I'm like, damn, like this whole time I was convincing myself that I wasn't good enough for this, or I'd never be. And in reality, I was. Like, taking that veil off, that shadow, and being able to step back and really appreciate the progress that you have made in life, or appreciate yourself for who you truly are, your authenticity, really feels good. And for me to be able to be in that moment in time and be so present and to be able to experience that was my milestone. So I'm just grateful, because that was a high, you know what I'm saying? So I just hope that y'all's like on y'all's journey, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't expect milestones to pop up every time you felt like you achieved something, because sometimes those milestones can be emotions. And a lot of times we think, when we are meant to believe that when we are on our journeys and we are trying to accomplish our goals, that in order for us to see our progress, it has to be tangible. It has to be something that's right in front of our face. But in reality, a lot of those milestones are intangible. A lot of those milestones are emotions and feelings, and a new perspective, or just a way of looking and really going about life, and unconditioning yourself when it comes to core beliefs or behavior patterns that no longer served you. Now walking into your new purpose, walking into a lifestyle that's actually that serves you, and being able to discern when it comes to um, people, places, things, boundaries, you name it. So just always be mindful that everything doesn't have to be tangible. Sometimes it can be just intangible. Um, and then my low is that um, a friend of mine that I had grew up in, my childhood, went to high school and middle school with, had passed away all of a sudden. That was very just sad and shocking to me, because it's just unfortunate that just life can be unfortunate. Things can happen and you didn't expect it, and they were a really good person, loved by many people. So it was really sad to hear about that. And yeah, but I just pray for healing for their family, people that were really close to them. Just yeah, and just I really don't know what else to say. I can't really say much. It's really unfortunate. I guess aside from that, other lows that I've been feeling disconnected from people lately. I don't know why, but I just have not been feeling the urge to connect with people on an emotional level. And this is outside from self-isolation. It's not that I'm self-isolating, not purposely wanting to be around people. It's just that I feel this disconnect. And I don't know if I'm going through a tower moment. I don't know if it's a dark night of the soul. I'm not sure if this is a certain phase in my life where I need to really be in hermit mode and take back my energy and kind of observe. I'm just not sure why I'm feeling the way that I'm feeling. And it's just feeling disconnected from people can be a very scary thing, because sometimes it used to make me think, well, are these people no longer for me in my life? Do I have to go back and reevaluate my relationships, or it can just be, maybe it's just a me thing. So sometimes I'm going back and forth between like, okay, what is this and how does this feel? And it's very awkward. It's just a very awkward phase to be in, to be quite honest with y'all. And yeah, I feel like I hope eventually I'll get over it, or maybe I'll understand why I'm feeling disconnected, and then I'll kind of reconnect myself to my surroundings and people and everything. But right now, again, I'm just giving myself patience. I just been thinking about it a lot, but luckily I haven't been so hard on myself about it, so I'm really grateful for that. What else was I going to say? Every time I come on this video, I'm gonna wear my glasses because I look cute. I look like a sexy librarian or something. Librarian, did I say that right? Anyway, I just look cute, and I like looking at myself in this camera. But moving on, I digress. So today we're going to be talking about being intentional, and I think the last video I did was about, what was the video I talked about last time? It was about, I can't remember. Now I'm blanking. Remember I told y'all about every month I'll have a different theme, and I was going to start from April, and April's month, I'm really thinking about what I talked about in April. Oh, well, this month, well, not this month, but May's month is about being intentional, by being purposeful. So yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today, and how our authenticity equals identity, and I'm going to explain what that actually means. And I know a lot of people are going to be watching this, so I kind of want to make sure I clarify things, because especially for the people in the back, sometimes people get it twisted, and I ain't got time to be putting people in check, because, although I'm cerebral and spiritual and I'm trying to be free-spirited, I don't play that crap. Period. Anyway, so let's talk about being intentional and purposeful. So maybe, I don't know if, just the way that this camera is, like, how it's flipped. So that the top is being intentional, purposeful, and authenticity equals identity. So when I talk about being intentional, I mean, like, it's really about doing things with purpose, doing things instead of just doing it just to do it. Doing it because you want to do it because it makes you feel good. So having intent behind what you're doing, like, and staying solid, 10 tones down, and being real about who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are walking around just doing shit just to do it. They're not doing it because that is a part of their purpose, is a part of their authenticity, is a part of who they are. A lot of people are just doing things just to do it because they see other people doing it. They see other people living a certain lifestyle, and therefore that's appealing to them. It's appealing to their ego, but not their higher self. So therefore, they're going to follow suit. They're going to follow who they think is the leader, when in reality, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are following a false paradigm, thinking that if I live my life this way, it'll work for me, or this will allow me to live a smooth, easy going life, and I can do whatever. When in reality, a lot of people are lost. A lot of people are disconnected from themselves. And so in order to fit in order to feel validated enough that, you know what I'm saying, like their energy, how their energy is moving, they'll follow somebody else who's doing the exact same thing. And that's what I hope to, my purpose to be, you know, in life, really, you know, incarnated on earth, is to allow people to experience what they need to experience, but also be intentional about it. Also, walking behind in, well, I don't want to say that. Well, it's really just about being your most authentic self and experiencing what you need to experience in order to walk into your purpose. There you go. And so I'm gonna just tell a little story. So around this time in May, I was working at this job, right? And when I was working at this job, I didn't like how I felt when I was working there. I didn't necessarily resonate with the people I was working with. It was just a job, me just going there 9 to 5, whatever. And I found myself triggered every single day. It was like my energy was like, it was like I was fighting a spiritual battle every fucking day, and I knew it. And what tore me up about it is like, damn, why can't I just come to work and just work and not have to deal with other people's bullshit, their projections, or their insecurity? And don't get me wrong, there were certain people that I did resonate with that I'm still cool with to this day, but it just pissed me off how I was witness to people's narcissism, their gaslighting, their insecurity, and their bullshit. And I also saw them project that onto other people, make other people feel like shit, make other people feel like they were not enough. And so for me able to have a front row seat to that, it made me feel some type of way. So therefore I was triggered all the fucking time. Like, I used to think to myself, like, damn, what is my purpose being here? Like, why am I in this room with these fucking people? And it's not to think that I was better than anybody, but if I'm being honest, like, I was like, I'm better than this type of shit. I'm better than just sitting here witnessing this type of shit, allowing this shit to happen in my face. But at the same time, what can I do? Like, I had to, there we go. April was radical acceptance, duh. Okay, I'm glad that I naturally just came into that. So, like I just said, what can I do? Radical acceptance. Accept what I cannot change. I cannot change nobody's behavioral patterns. I cannot change them being a narcissistic asshole. I cannot change them in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't matter what my energy was looking like. I cannot change another person's way of living, right? So, I was like, okay, whatever. Eventually, when I got to that point in life when I was really accepting things for what they were, I felt a lot better. I felt a lot more at peace. And that was around the time that I was leaving the job anyway. So it came to a certain point where I had like an epiphany about everything. That's what that led up to. That radical acceptance led me to have a certain epiphany, not just about people in general, but myself. So hopefully you're able to see the connection between the two. But there was one day I was at home and I was eating, and at the time I had my tongue pierced. I was eating something and my tongue piercing fell out, and I just took it out and I just continued to eat. Didn't think nothing about it, didn't really care. In the past I would be like, shit, let me go put it back in because the hole is gonna close up. And you know, as I'm eating, I'm just thinking to myself, damn, I'm not as tight about my tongue piercing falling out for some reason. Like, I'm just not as like, oh shit, let me go put it back in, I didn't really care. And I just kept eating. I just kept watching TV. And I thought to myself, I went back in the bathroom. I put it back in. I thought to myself, like, why? Like, why did I do this? Why do I even care to have a fucking tongue piercing? And then kind of days went on, of course, being at the damn job. I'm radical acceptance. I'm accepting things for what they are, for not what I want them to be. I still connected that to me taking my tongue piercing out. I'm just like, radical acceptance. Because I'm telling y'all, I don't just think about shit. I'm thinking about it, like deep thinking about it. Like, it's going in my playing in my head, and I'm always trying to self-reflect, especially when moments like that happen, because when they do happen, that's a moment for me to look back and to reflect on my authenticity, and am I doing things that's in alignment with my purpose and the things that actually bring me fulfillment. And so it was my tongue piercing, it then came to being intentional, being is it's a part of my identity. And so while I was thinking about all that, I said, oh shit. I said the reason why I didn't want to put that tongue piercing back in, and it was more on an intangible thing. Remember where I talked about tangible and intangible. It was because I wasn't feeling it no more. I wasn't feeling that version of myself that wanted to get that tongue piercing. I wasn't feeling a version of myself that allowed people to trigger me, allowed people to tell me who I was or who I wasn't. And so therefore it made me take it out, because I thought to myself, this is not a part of my identity. It's not who I am. Because when around the time that I did get my tongue pierced, I felt like I was still fighting myself. I still felt like I was fighting the world, and I was like trying to prove to everybody that I was this or I was that, when in reality, I don't think anybody really gave a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are also triggered themselves, and people fall victim to their own circumstance. So therefore, in order for them to feel validated in their own emotions and how they truly feel, however they're feeling, they're going to project that onto me and to somebody else. And so I think growing up, when I was in high school, it was more high school and middle school, I just felt like I didn't know who I was. And that's natural because you're a child, but even just going to high school, I didn't feel like I knew who I was. I didn't really think that the people that I was cool with was really my friends. There were some people who were real friends, but some of them just weren't. But I was still wanting to fit into the crowd. I was still wanting to mold myself in order to fit in. In reality, that just wasn't who I was. And the reason, it just never worked out. I'm just saying that. It never actually worked out for me until I really realized it. I said, that whole time, I was molding myself, trying to change myself to fit everyone's image, when in reality, the reason why it never worked out because it's not who I was. And at the time, I didn't know that because, of course, I was a child. But coming to that realization now, I was like, damn, me getting this tongue piercing, and it's beyond the tongue piercing. I'm going to just say that now. It was like, this is not a part of my identity. It was like, moving forward, I need to be more intentional. I need to be more purposeful about the things that I do to myself. You know what I'm saying? The way I carry myself in life, how I talk to people, but also how I talk to myself. Being intentional is super important. It's because it's easy to do things just to do them. It's easy to be anybody or anything, but if that does not resonate with you, you will never feel like you fit in life. Because it's not your life to fit in. Y'all, we are too busy trying to play in other people's narratives. We are too busy trying to be the main character in other people's story, and we're not doing that for ourselves. So therefore, going back to what I was talking about earlier, it's just, was I just getting a tongue piercing because I felt like, oh, I want to do this because I like the way it looks, or is it part of my aesthetic, or was I just doing this just to be a part of the conversation? Was I just doing this just to be noticed and be liked? You know what I'm saying? So if you get to that point in life where you have to question that, was it really intentional? Was it something that was a part of your authenticity? And anything can be part of your authenticity, the way you dress, the way you act. Whatever feels natural to you, whatever makes you feel fulfilled when it comes to your aesthetic, hairstyle, makeup, sexual identity, if that's a part of your authenticity, if that what brings you fulfillment, I mean true fulfillment, not because everybody else will like it, then that's a part of your identity. Then that's a part of who you are. And the fact that I went back and questioned that means to me personally, when I have to question something that I did in the past, like I have to keep thinking about it over and over again, then it wasn't something that was for me. It was something because I just did it just to do it. And I said to myself, you know what? Going to this workplace or getting a piercing, tattoo, or whatever you want to call it, am I just doing some shit just to do it? Am I acting in a way just to do it? Or am I acting this way because it's intentional, because it's purposeful? So I have to link that back into my job. I say, you know what? Radical acceptance don't mean shit if I don't feel it, like truly deep within my soul. I have to truly accept what I cannot change. And then around that time, I kept saying radical acceptance, every time something happened or I was triggered, I kept saying that in my mind, but I wasn't intentional about it. I wasn't intentional about truly accepting what I cannot change. I was just saying it just to say it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just saying it just to get by, just to get through the day. Not saying it because I truly believe that at the end of the day, I cannot change how that person talks to me or talk to anybody else. I got to change and really accept that my own emotions and control how I feel about it and control my reactions. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to do. That's what I literally had to do in order to like truly understand what that meant. It's like knowing something is understanding something. I like to say that if you know something, you just know some shit. But if you understand something, you'll never forget it. It's like taking an exam. Oh, I know what 2 plus 2 means equals 4 or whatever. But if I understand what 2 plus 2 means and I understand what 5 times 5 or whatever, if I truly understand something, then I will never forget it. It will always be a part of me because I know it now. Like I know it in the depths of my soul. I understand it. I breathe it, and it's become a lifestyle. So I had to understand radical acceptance. I had to understand what intentional means. So like radical acceptance, like just knowing it, and then I go from understanding it to being intentional. So being intentional about how I move. So hopefully y'all are catching on. It's like me being intentional, me being purposeful means that it's becoming a lifestyle. So that means that radical acceptance, accepting what I cannot change, only what I can change about myself, only what I can control within myself. It's starting to become a lifestyle. It's starting to become purposeful. It is starting to become intentional. You see where I'm going with it? It's not just one thing after the other. It's more like a flow. So radical acceptance, intentional, or what's another word? Being compassionate, being intentional. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to give y'all examples of self-love or unconditional love, being intentional, being purposeful. It's like you have the subject, you have the verb, you have whatever, but then when you have to be able to flow into that understanding. You have to be able to flow into being intentional and purposeful, because I feel like when you start to flow in being intentional and having intent and having purpose in life, that then flows into a lifestyle. That flows into a way of being and a way of like understanding. So you will never forget it. So when I get to a point in my life where I truly am intentional about radical acceptance, about self-love, and about compassion, then it becomes a lifestyle. Then it becomes a point to where it's a part of my authenticity. Because think about it this way. You will not be able to be your highest form, your most authentic self, if you allow any and everyone to trigger you. Because that means that somebody can trigger you and get under your skin. That means that you are compromised. That means they're able to mess with your energy. That means they are able to get in within your energetic field and to affect you. So you go home thinking about it. So you think about it when you eat, and then you get sad or depressed or angry or pissed off, or just a number of things you are feeling because you've been triggered by somebody or something. But when you become intentional about, you know what, radical acceptance or self-love, or not allowing somebody's bullshit to become my own, I'm now being more purposeful about that. I'm now being more intentional about that. And so therefore it becomes a lifestyle. So therefore it becomes a way of being. So anytime somebody else come into my life or try to trigger me in any way, shape, or form, they won't even get through that wall. That means that not only that I'm protected, I'm still able to extend my love and my compassion to other people without allowing someone to compromise me. And that's what had happened. At my job, it was like I was trying to be my most authentic self, but that person, that thing, that situation kept triggering me, and I kept being compromised. I wasn't able to be my authentic self. I was closed off. I was aloof. I was dissociating. I wasn't able to be in the present moment. So when I truly began to flow with it, be intentional about radical acceptance, I felt a lot more at peace within myself. I was able to have conversations with these people. I was able to go into work and say, you know what? Not today. I don't care. Because you are who you are. These people, if that's a part of their authenticity, whoever, or their identity, that's great. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And I can't be nobody's hero. I can't save anybody. I have to be able to be intentional about how I move. So that's what I meant by that. And that's why I just love how that came out naturally, is because I was really over here thinking about what did I talk about for April, but then it flowed into the conversation. So instead of me, just like sitting here and thinking about it hard and like, damn, like it was about being intentional. It's about being purposeful. So as I'm talking, it flowed into my conversation. That's what I talked about. It becoming a lifestyle. It becoming a way of being. It becomes a part of your authenticity. So I don't have to act hard or be somebody. And now that's why I talked about my piercing. I don't have to do anything or alter my image in order to be somebody that I'm not. It's just something should come naturally to me. Something should flow to me in order for me to be intentional and being purposeful about my authenticity. And that's why that radical acceptance, that's why it really bridged the gap between, okay, if I have to think about why I did what I did, why I got a piercing and why I did this, like, was it really for me? You know what I'm saying? And this is how I feel personally. That's how I kind of go about the whole thing. And that's why I kind of want y'all to be able to think about that. It's like, moving forward in life, if you are not intentional, if you are not 10 toes down about something, then why are you doing it in the first place? Are you doing it because somebody you likes the way that looks on somebody, or it likes the way you act when you do that, or the way you feel, or anything, whatever resonates with y'all? Being intentional about it. Leave everybody else's comments, concerns, opinions, judgments out of it. Because if your authenticity is not something that allows you to flow with life, be at one with life, is it really your most authentic self? Because this is my thing. Hold on. I got my paper. And I kind of want y'all to do some homework. So, and this exercise kind of came up in my mind a lot. It was what 3 things that will describe my most authentic self, right? What allowed me to flow with life, what allowed me to be one with life, you know what I'm saying? What allowed radical acceptance to be my way of living and being and seeing the world, instead of just telling myself this lie, like radical acceptance, like it's the same thing with affirmations. Y'all can say affirmations in the mirror all you want to, but if you do not understand how beautiful and loving and how deserving you are of good shit in your life, then those affirmations mean nothing. I'm telling y'all, that may be an unpopular opinion, because I know some people stand in the mirror and say affirmation all they want to, and I'm gonna have an honest moment with y'all. I was saying an affirmation that I'm beautiful and that I, you know what I'm saying, but I didn't feel it. I honestly, truly did not feel that within myself. No matter how many people looked at me and thought I was cute or pretty, whatever, I truly did not believe that within myself. I truly did not believe that I was beautiful, and I stopped saying it because I didn't believe it. But when I started to be more intentional and purposeful, living my authenticity, doing things little by little, give myself patience and grace, I truly looked at myself and said, damn, you are beautiful. Because I have to understand that and understand it. I have to understand it within myself, but I also have to be a reflection of that in this reality. So it's about the intangible and the tangible. Y'all have to be able to serve both of them simultaneously in order to feel something, in order to truly believe something. So again, like I talked about, being tangible, like being like the milestones, how you have to be able to continue to move forward in your purpose and walk in your purpose, despite whether you see a tangible milestone or an intangible milestone. Doesn't matter which one you see. Be intentional, be purposeful, continue to move forward, continue to understand and understand that I am in my most highest authentic form, that nobody or anything can just, what's the word for it, compromise that. Like I talked about in the workplace, like I talked about piercings, doing anything. Was that something that resonated with me? Was that something that aligned with who I was? If not, then it wasn't for me. And therefore, I had to let it go. Okay. So like I talked about, authenticity. So one thing that aligned with my authenticity is my loyalty. I had to understand that being loyal to who I am, being true to who I am is so fucking important. Because some of y'all walk around putting yourselves in situations, relationships, everything without any loyalty to self. A lot of y'all do not respect yourself, and I'm just say that. A lot of y'all don't respect yourself. You don't know how to be loyal to yourself, but therefore you know how to be loyal to everybody else. When in reality, people don't live it by the same rules and standards that you do, so don't expect them to. But being loyal to who you are will allow you not to involve yourself with certain peoples and situations that have a low vibrational frequency. So I had to be loyal to myself. So everything that I was doing, like I talked about, being intentional and purposeful. Am I being loyal to myself? Am I being intentional about that? You know what I'm saying? If I'm not being intentional, if I'm just doing something just to do it, then it ain't for me. Being loyal to oneself. And try to write down what does being loyal to oneself means to you. Being loyal to myself means not allowing people to compromise who I am. To always staying true to myself, to always loving myself, to always putting myself first when I need to put myself first. Putting up boundaries, working on myself. Like being loyal to myself means never cheating myself out of life. Never playing myself small, or believing that I am small, believing that I'm not deserving of said things. Being loyal to myself. So I just said something I like. Not cheating yourself. Loyalty, not cheating yourself. So if you are cheating yourself or cheating on yourself with low vibrational energy and compromising your energy, are you being loyal to yourself? No, you are not. So look at it that way. Like when y'all go out in life, when y'all experience things, I want y'all to think about something outside of being intentional and purposeful. Am I cheating on myself? You know what I'm saying? Like, the reason why I do my podcast, the reason why I do these is because I want to help build a better relationship with myself. A relationship with myself, I want to feel satisfied in my own life to the point where if I get in a connection, a relationship with somebody, whether it's platonic or romantic, I'm always loyal to myself. I don't never feel like I need to cheat myself or compromise who I am in order to be with somebody or even to be in a room. If I ain't meant for me to be in this room, in this environment, if it doesn't rock with me, then I'm gone. I don't give a damn how anybody else feels. And I still do that to this day. If I do not feel comfortable being in a room because it does not align with my purpose, it does not align with my authenticity, if it compromises my spiritual ecosystem, then I'm out. Don't give a damn. So it's like, ask yourself that. Am I cheating on myself? Like, I want y'all to start thinking about yourself as your own couple, as your own relationship. Stop thinking about being in a relationship with everybody else. Think about being one with yourself and ask yourself that question. Okay, the second one is bravery. Sometimes I gotta look back at it because the camera acting a little weird. Being brave means putting your best foot forward. Saying, I do. I do this because I love this. I do this because it's a part of my purpose. I do. And that's, I do is a part of your solar plexus chakra. And that's the affirmation for it. And I want y'all to understand that there are different affirmations for different things. So root chakra is I am. Solar plexus chakra is I do. Sacral chakra is I feel. And then throat chakra is I speak. So y'all are doing your affirmations. Make sure you're doing different affirmations. I am is powerful, but I do, I feel, I see, I speak, I know. It's very powerful. And so I do. What do you do? Like, I do not compromise my energy. I do love myself. I do see myself in the highest form, in the highest light. So make sure that when you're doing your affirmation, everything is very important. So it's like, I do put my best foot forward. I do walk in my own light and my own purpose. I do not allow other people's perceptions, judgments, opinions of me compromise who I am. It's about being brave. It's about doing some shit because, not only because you're intentional about it, it's because, you know what, that's me. That's who I am. I am her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm brave about it. Like, I'm going to go out the way I feel that I'm going to go out. You know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to think, I don't know if y'all ever seen Mulan. That's where I kind of get mine from. I love that movie. I've loved that movie since I was a fucking child. Because I always saw the self-discovery in it. Because she wasn't going out looking for no man. She wasn't going out looking to get the highest reward. She did that because she was intentional about it. She didn't just do it just to do it. They go cut off her hair, falsify being a soldier, like walked into there knowing that she could have died. She could have lost her life. But she did it anyway. She followed her purpose. And I don't think people understand that enough. People thought that she did it because her dad. No, she did it because she wanted to do that. Because that was a part of her purpose. Because she was 10 toes down. She was solid. And that's what protected her that whole time. While all those other soldiers died, she still, she did what she needed to do. She was brave. But she was also loyal to herself. She didn't cheat herself out of nothing. She put her best foot forward. And she said, you know, I'm going to do this. Because this is me. This is a part of my purpose. You know, this is my highest form. This is my authenticity. And so that's what I mean by being brave. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be scared to do something. Don't be scared to be who you are. Don't be scared to wear something. Don't be scared to come out as a certain sexual preference. Just don't be scared. Just be brave about your shit. You know what I'm saying? Because when you are not brave, you are cheating yourself out of that. That means you are not loyal to yourself. So putting your best foot forward, doing what's best for you at the end of the day. Okay, and then the other one is being true. So being true and honest with ourselves is about, and listen, before I even say what I was going to say, some of y'all are not honest with yourselves, and it shows. Some of y'all not honest with the people around you, and it fucking shows. Y'all lack boundaries. Y'all lack understanding of self. Y'all don't even love yourselves in the way that you should love yourself. Y'all out here putting people before yourselves. Y'all out here extending love and kindness and grace to other people when you can't. You should be doing that for yourself. And that's what I mean by being true. Are you true to yourself? Are you true to your purpose? Are you true to being intentional? Are you true to your authenticity? If you are not true, if you are not honest with yourself, you cannot sit down and give your, like, for example, there are times where I low-key be thinking about doing shit. I'm like, I'm going to be 100% honest with myself. That does not resonate with me. Why the hell would you do that? Why the hell would you talk like that? Why the hell would you go out and do this and that when in reality, you know damn well you won't like doing that. You know damn well you won't like being that person or that behavior pattern or that thought process. You know it doesn't serve you, so why are you doing it? So about being honest with yourself, like some of y'all like to give honesty to other people when you don't know how to do it for yourself. And that's why you continuously are compromised. That's why you continuously get angry and pissed off at life, because you have not taken the time to really self-reflect and to be honest about who you are and why you do what you do. You're just not honest. And that's what I'm trying to do with y'all, be honest. And that's the whole point of me being honest with myself, because if I'm not able to truly sit and experience my own vulnerability, then how do y'all expect me to do that with y'all? You can't expect somebody to be vulnerable and honest and loving towards you if they cannot do that for themselves. That's why certain people out there in relationships, situations, jobs, and are miserable as hell. They sit there and convince themselves, they lie to themselves that they do feel good, that this is me, this is who I am in reality. It's not who you are. That's not who you are. But y'all know that. But y'all are scared. That's about being brave. It's about being loyal. And again, when you are doing something, when y'all are moving forward in life, ask yourself, am I cheating on myself when I do this? No, that's a good fucking question. That may even be the title to this whole episode. Am I cheating on myself? Are you? I'm not supposed to answer that for you, but are you cheating on yourself? When you watch this video, you're like, damn, think about it. Think about, are you cheating on yourself when you get into a relationship, when you go into a job? Are you cheating yourself out of your own destiny? Are you cheating yourself out of your own purpose? If you gotta question that, then you are. But if you say, nah, hell no, this is me, this is who I am, like, solid, you good, right? But again, don't forget that. Because in one moment you can be good and the next moment you're not. The next moment you are feeling some type of way about something because you know that's not who you are. You know that it does not align with your authenticity. So that's what I say, my authenticity equals my identity. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter my sexual preference, what I like to wear, what I like to, piercings, tattoos, doesn't matter. If this is a part of my authentic self, if this aligns with my authenticity, then that is my identity. That's my identity. So, again, authenticity equals identity. Identity, not identity. Sometimes I be on a roll, man. I'm telling you, I be feeling it. Y'all don't understand, like, if you're watching this, you don't understand how good it feels to be able to use my throat chakra to speak my truth, to speak and be vulnerable. Because every time, again, I think I've said this 100 times, I'm going to say it 100 more. Every time I get on here, I am vulnerable. I'm sharing with y'all how I feel about something or how I felt about myself. When I talked about my tongue piercing, when I talked about, all of that, that to me is me being vulnerable. Because I have these conversations with myself. I think about this a lot. It's like, when I did shit in the past, I'm telling you, I used to do things and involve myself with people that when I look back, I say, damn, it makes me kind of cringe because I'm like, damn, that's just not who I was, but I did it anyway. And I question that because that wasn't a part of my authenticity. And that's so important for me to be honest with myself and say, that just wasn't who I was. And again, that's why it goes beyond just taking out my tongue piercing. It was just more than that. It was like, this was a part of myself that, this a part of my thought process at the time, that I was just doing shit just to do it, just to be like, just to get looks, just to, and it just wasn't who I was. It didn't make me happy. I just convinced myself, I was good. In the past, I was so fucking good at convincing myself that this was a part of who I was, to the point where I honestly believed it. I eluded myself so deeply, so much so that I believed that that's who I was. But now on my journey, now understanding that that's not who I was. That was low-key cringe behavior, but I still have to give myself grace. I still have to allow myself to heal from that. I'm so grateful for who I was and who I'm becoming, because it's still a part of who I am. Just because your past self did certain things doesn't mean you have to carry that with you. Y'all have to be grateful for who y'all once was in order for you to become who you're meant to be in this life. Because if you're not, you're still going to be stuck in the past. You're still going to be regretful. You're still going to have resentment for self. You have to be able to forgive yourself. So I had to be able to forgive myself and to really give myself a hug, my past self a hug, an energetic hug, and say, I thank you. I love you for doing that. Even though it was cringe behavior, I still love you, and I thank you for that, because I'm able to sit here now and share that with y'all. I'm able to sit here and talk to y'all about that. So yeah, I thank y'all again. I hope y'all be well. I'm sending y'all healing energy, loving energy out there for y'all who need it. Be blessed. Be grateful for what you have and the people that are in your life, because you just never know. Tell people you love them. Go out and hug a tree. I know that sounds crazy, but I was doing a hike like last week, and I literally hugged a tree. I'm telling y'all, nature here for us. Some of y'all need to go out, sit in nature, put y'all feet in the grass. Nature, Earth, Gaia, that's what I call it, Earth is Gaia, is here for us. She is a gifted transmuter. Like, she know how to transmute energy like it ain't nothing. And that's why they want us to be out in nature, to be at one with self in order to be at one with the universe, the divine, the almighty consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us are a part of a collective. But we are all still our own individual, our own being. But we still serve the greater purpose of being part of this collective, be an extension of source in order to experience this life. So that's why I'm grateful. That's why I'm blessed, to my benevolent spirit team, my ancestors, my angels, my guardian angels, my ascended masters, the divine, the universe. Because I'm here, I'm talking with y'all, I'm experiencing y'all. I'm allowing y'all to experience me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say allow, because it's a real intentional type of thing. Because sometimes I do not be willing to go in here and talk about shit or anything. And that's why I'm allowing myself, opening myself up to being vulnerable, to being honest, to giving myself grace and compassion, and to be able to share my story and my life with y'all. So thank y'all for supporting me, and yeah, I hope that you found this video useful. If this did not resonate with you in any way, shape, or form, that is okay, but you can send it to somebody who it does resonate with. Again, be easy, love yourself, give yourself grace, and I'll talk to y'all later.